How is it going, you lovely lot? Welcome back to Lewis FC. It's Park to Prem, the start of season number 2, and it is a weekend upload for your viewing pleasure. Obviously, you don't normally upload on this day, so if you do want to do me a solid, go down below, leave a like, feed it into the algorithm. We're doing 3 matches today. I saw the comments, people wanted a longer transfer special. It would have been very boring, but I'll give you a longer video today as a result. Billericay, Folkestone, Invicta, and Concord Rangers coming right up. Now, last episode, we made 3 new additions to the first team, 3 very good players, and in fact, in the 10 days between then and the start of the year, I've added in a little bit more depth. Jackson is Kerdo? No idea if I'm saying that correctly. The goalkeeper. We'll just call him the goalkeeper. He is a backup goalie on £140 a week. We didn't really have a backup goalie. I did decide using a 15-year-old as the backup probably wasn't smart. Admittedly, when you compare him against Kennis, our goalie, there is an argument to say he might actually be a slightly better option. I feel like these 2 players can fight it out for the #1 shirt this year. Elsewhere, we made the entirely unnecessary signing of a striker. Sam Anderson has joined us on loan. Yeah, we are paying this guy of his £600 wages, £60 of them? £60 a week for this guy? Bit of a backup, have him on the bench, start him often. I feel like that's a very good deal. And I did also pick up this guy, Sam Packham, 24 years old, a little bit older than a lot of the other players we've been bringing into the club, but has some really nice versatility. Of course, only 5 players on the bench at this level, so players like Sam here who can tick a load of boxes, always very nice. Now, we've not exactly had the most extensive of pre-seasons, and while I prided us on our defensive solidity last year, we've not shown that early doors. But since the end of last year, I have been thinking about how I might want to change things tactically, and we are going to go into this year with a few minor adjustments. First and foremost, the 2 defensive mids when we don't have the ball are now going to be pressing defensive midfielders. Now, to be honest, this is not a role I've used much yet this year, but last year we kept a load of clean sheets with this 5 at the back formation with 2 defensive mids, and I do just wonder if having some pressing defensive mids might help us be a bit more proactive and win the ball more to then transition into the attacks, because it was all very good having 15 clean sheets. We didn't score enough last year, and that is why when it comes to the in-possession formation, we're changing things up. We were running 2 defensive midfielders, one as a defensive mid, one as a box-to-box playmaker. Gibbard, the new addition, I've given him a new updated face-pack picture. He is going to play as an advanced playmaker for us. And when you look at his attributes, I think he is really well set up for this role. Good acceleration, great stamina really for this level combined with the work rate, capable of getting up and down the pitch. And as for the man alongside him, we are going with Jane. Now, to be honest, Jane, I did contemplate just remaining as a defensive midfielder when we do have the ball, but asymmetric formations look really ugly. So we're going to try him at centre mid as part of a midfield 2. If I do feel like defensively we're not looking great at the back, we'll probably go back to what we used last year. Now, Chris Watson, who came through last year's youth intake, we played at advanced centre-back to end the year, and whilst I do think his long-term future is probably as more of a defensive midfielder, I feel like we should at least try and make use of this rather unique player while we can, because he is a bit of a freak of nature and of Football Manager generation. So yes, we are going to be playing with an advanced centre-back. What that's going to mean is when we do have the ball, he is going to step up and kind of play behind the 2 centre mids, so hopefully filling that gap that having the 2 centre mids now playing higher up the pitch are going to leave him behind. Maybe going to mean that Pascal and Taylor have a lot to do defensively, but I feel like it's worth experimenting with just early doors. And of course, without the ball, we are boring. Yeah, look, we're playing a deep back 5. The pressing defensive midfielders make it look more exciting than it really is. The reality is we're playing a lower defensive line, not just stopping short distribution, and we are still going to look to absorb some pressure. Just taking a little peek at the season preview, you can see Billericay Town predicted to finish 3rd. Last year they made the playoffs. They actually finished 2nd in the league, but weren't able to get promoted, so they're going to want to start the season well. And I feel like in today's matches, taking on 3 teams, 1 at the top, 1 in the middle, 1 at the bottom. And well, at the end of the year, I'm going to hope that we finish ahead of Malden and Tiptree. Just as a reminder, they have multi-million-pound owners. I've been told by the chat and the comments that is a thing that they have in real life. It's reflected in Football Manager. They have a lot more money, with only 1 automatic promotion spot. I think they are going to be the team to beat. Anyway, heading into the first game of the season, a little injury to be aware of. Bennett at right mid is unavailable. Shouldn't be a long-term injury, but a little groin strain. Not the kind of injury we can rush him back from. So I think our best course of action is to move Bassett, who obviously played at left mid a lot last year, over onto the right-hand side, which I'll be honest, he's not quite as proficient in. But it does then allow me to shuffle things around a little bit. We're going to bring in Clark, I think, to play out on the left-hand side. Billy, I want to see him have a better year this year. And then on the bench, Shea Hutchinson comes in. Shea Hutchinson, a bit of a victim of all the attackers that we got in the youth intake and the man we picked in on loan. At the moment, I'm training him to play right attacking mid. He's on a lot of money for a player who, I'm going to be honest, might not be on the bench every game this year. So keep an eye on that. In a weird way, it'd be nice if I have some attacking injuries, because then it would justify keeping this man around as a bit of depth. Of the new signings, Gibbard and Taylor and the team, of course, Taylor, the young centre-back we picked up from Bristol City, who I've added a lovely little face to. On the bench, Danaher, the centre-mid/centre-back that we picked up last year, is available, and elsewhere, Packham, the new backup full-back option, also available. The fact he can play on the left and the right, and at defensive mid, obviously, extremely useful, as I've already mentioned. I've not really discussed it. In terms of my aims for this year, if Malden weren't in the league, I'd probably say let's try and win the league. And to be fair, they might end up not being this package that I fear. But at the same time, given the quality they have and the quality of teams like Billericay, I think top 5 and playoffs would be a pretty good aim for this year. I think getting that automatic top spot, it might just be a bit beyond us. I have to say, Watson, the 16-year-old we are playing at advanced centre-back, that is definitely a bit of an experiment. I don't love playing with the more complicated roles at this lower level of football in Football Manager. Traditionally, it's never really worked when I've tried it. Obviously, FM26 is a different game, and he is just a weird player that I feel like we have to try and do this experiment with, because if I don't do it with him, I'm just never going to do it. And, well, for all the changes I've made to try and be more attacking, does anyone else just worry this game might finish 0-0? Nothing's happened and we're half an hour in. 2 minutes left to the first half. We are so back. It's awful. It's actually awful. This isn't good enough. Absolutely unacceptable. Just do something different in the second half. Now, to be fair, we've got some pretty good attacking options we can bring on if we want to or if we need to. So far in this game, Billericay having the better of the football. Finally, there is some action to report back on. Yeah, they've had a vast majority of the shots in this game. They find themselves in possession here, trying to play it through the middle. Brandy loses it out. Bassett wins it. Gibbard, making his debut, plays it forward to Bassett. Out on the right-hand side, of course, King, the new youth intake prospect. I was waiting for a pass into him. Bassett's just gone on his own. Look at the dance moves. Look, I can do that. Bassett picked up the ball here, and he's so far away, I just assumed there was going to be a pass at some point. Absolutely not. He's gone on his own, and it's a pretty blooming good finish too. Is that going to now be the floodgates opening in this game? I suppose we're going to see as we work the ball kind of nicely through the middle here. It's a little bit congested perhaps, but we're keeping possession. Bassett loses out. Billy wins it back. Jane, still rocking the captain's armband this year. You can see Watson, that advanced centre-back, will step up into the defensive mid and play passes like that to Bernal. Michael King, the 16-year-old. He ended the season with 3 goals in 3. He's got one in this first game here. I mean, I said the advanced centre-back was an experiment. I might be sticking with it. Watson's ball there to Bernal, the right wing-back, was sensational. And it was just played inside for King to tap home from point blank. I mean, those 2 goals inside the 3 minutes of this second half have really changed this fixture. It felt like a game that was nervous. Also, is that Reece Oxford at centre-back for them? Like, didn't he make his debut for West Ham at like 16 against Arsenal and then go to, was it Augsburg he went to in the Bundesliga? He's now playing for Billericay. I don't feel like he's that old. Here's Reece Oxford. He's 27. I mean, he's bloody good. 3 natural fitness. I can only assume he's had lots of injuries in real life. Although with 5 stamina, maybe he's just been on the chalky biscuits. I have to say he is still far too good for this level. I feel like I shouldn't be so rude. He'll probably score against me now. Okay, I'm going to make some changes here. I'm going to bring in Danaher. I'm going to take off... Who am I going to take off? You know what? We'll give Taylor a rest. Danaher, kind of this kind of useful, versatile player. Not the best in the air with 9 jumping reach and 8 heading, but he's got some really nice physicals. So coming on, you know, against fresh subs in the final third to defend against them, I think is kind of where we're going to be using him a lot. Elsewhere... Oh, I kind of want to bring in Hutchinson, but King's played well. I suppose, actually, King can play out on the left-hand side, and then we can bring in Shea Hutchinson. I do need to make sure that Sam Anderson, the striker that we've loaned in, does get some minutes. Otherwise, they might just recall him from his loan. Free kick, whipped towards the back post, headed away by Danaher. Not the best of headers, but that shot wasn't the best of efforts either. Less than 10 minutes left in this game. I'm going to make a few more changes. I'm going to bring in Hutchinson to play out on the right where I'm training him to play, and then that'll justify bringing Anderson in the middle. It was brought to my attention. I actually do have the ability to make more subs than I realised at this level. I can actually make 5 subs from the 5 options that I have available. So if I want to, I really can just bring in a load of fresh legs. And I feel like that's probably just something I should be doing every game this year. Okay, I mean, we are 3 minutes away from winning this game. We've got a corner in their third. If we score this, you'd imagine that is game, set, and match. Danaher has scored a header. I mean, I said he wasn't good in the air. I'd take it all back. It's a debut goal for the Crystal Palace trainee, and in fact, when it comes to our team, I think 4 of the players that we've signed, or maybe 3 of them, have come through Crystal Palace's academy. We are basically Crystal Palace's feeder team at this point. 3 minutes of added time here. I don't know if we necessarily deserved a 3-0 win, but they really didn't create that much in the way of actual proper key chances, and we took the chances that came our way. They finished second last year, so that result there does feel really, really big. If I'm not mistaken, there is like a column that you can add in that's like last club or previous club. Yeah, last club. I don't know why the text is so big here. So we've got Gibbard, Danaher, and then Jackson the goalie, all who came from Crystal Palace. Shout out to Crystal Palace. Our next opposition, by the way, is Folkestone Invicta. They drew their opening game of the season 1-1, so I feel like we should be beating them. And I'm sure some of you spotted it. It's a game away from home. We're going to do an away day. Don't go anywhere. We're going to the Alkaline Stadium. Just before we get into the second game and the away day of today's video, a little heads up that I've got an upload going up tomorrow, which I've poured my heart and soul into for over a week. It's a little bit of a different video. I'm going to show you a brief snippet of the intro. It is a multi-season per episode series. We're managing a nation that it's very unlikely you've seen a YouTube series in before. Introducing Ismaili SC, one of Egypt's oldest clubs, founded in 1921. A team with real history, Egyptian 3-times league winners, and the honour of being the first Egyptian club to ever win the African Champions League back in 1969. Fast forward to FM26 and Ismaili are fighting for survival. A thin squad, a relegation battle, and a transfer embargo until 2027. We're diving into one of the newest leagues to play in Football Manager. Let's see how we get on. If you do like the look of that based on the intro, make sure to be subscribed, turn on notifications. The first video in this series will be dropping tomorrow morning. If you want to show it some love, it'd be really appreciated. Like I said, it really has been a labour of love. Okay, folks, it's time for an away day. We are heading to Folkestone, of course, Lewis here on the south coast, and well, Lewis is kind of on the coast, right? He's literally not on the coast. Moving on. Today's game is against Folkestone, a stone's throw away from Dover. And Folkestone Invicta Football Club play slap bang in the middle of the town. Okay, the stadium is just a stone's throw away, it turns out, from the train station. Here is Folkestone Invicta and Love World Folkestone, a church. There is a church next to the stadium. I mean, look, there's a church one side, there's a bar and kitchen the other. They're really serving all demographics. I mean, you've also got cricket, paddle stars. So if you like paddle, is that someone's back garden you can play it in? I have no idea. They've also got a running track, a polo ground. Is that for like horse riding polo? I have no idea. More football pitches, basketball courts, and then the stadium and stuff, and a dog exercise area. I can't say the P word or the dog will start barking at the door. Right, there's not really... Well, I was going to say there's not really a road connected to the stadium. I'll tell you what, there is a fantastic car park for this level that has a very satisfying curved design around the cricket. Is there street view? Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, the Netball League has lots of dots around it. I think that is the church there. Is that the church? And then this is a netball arena. This looks very high-tech. I'm going in. I'm going inside. We might as well have a look. There is a gym. I feel like I'm not meant to be here. I mean, there's loads of footage of all the other pitches out here. This is very cute. Got a little balcony. You can watch a game of hockey. There's an indoor football pitch, which I guess you can use. But as lovely as this facility is next door, it's literally not part of the football club. And there's not even any dots near the pitch. Like, there's none. They've got this great car park. Okay, does this even count as the car park? It's kind of connected to the stadium. I mean, you got a Morrison, so you can do your groceries pre-game, and then the car park. I mean, this is just a supermarket car park that happens to be next door to all the facilities, isn't it? I think that this over here is the football pitch. But if this is the only angle I can get of it, it's going to be very difficult to review the away day. Newer viewers to the series are thinking, I thought this was a Football Manager series. I thought we reviewed the football stadium. Look, sometimes the football stadium has nothing to talk about and I have to improvise. I mean, here's the entrance to the stadium. This is as good as it's going to get. They've got indoor bowls next door, so you can drop off Nana before you go into the game. I mean, it's through there. It doesn't look bad, but I really can't see a lot. I mean, it's a tidy little stadium nestled into a quite big, nice complex, but is it a good away day? And you know what? The answer to that question hinges entirely on, do you shop at Morrison's? I don't. 2 out of 10. Now, I didn't realise, but this game is actually a midweek fixture. The first half of the season is very compact compared to the second half of the season in these lower leagues. A lot of that is in real life in case pitches get waterlogged or frozen in the winter and games have to be postponed. Doesn't happen very much in Football Manager, but what it means is the first few months are jam-packed. And obviously, going into this game, I was a little bit concerned we might not have players all at full fitness. I did rest up the players. They are rested up. I mean, given the fact we won the last game 3-0, I don't think we should really touch anything. I will say, by the way, comment question of the day, and to let me know that you actually watch the videos and you're not a bot or you just don't skip between bits. Michael King, go down below. How many goals is he getting this season? Leave a prediction. If you're right, come back at the end of the year and boast about it. It's a midweek game under the lights. We are donning our away kit. I don't know if we've had to wear this for a video yet. It's white, red and black, apparently. I don't think that's actually the right colours. I'm not going to question it. We're on the attack here. Bassett inside. I mean, whatever you predicted King to score, take one off it. That should have been a goal, shouldn't it? Watson plays the ball forward. That is a very ambitious ball for the left-back in Foxwell, who is very desperately getting back into the back five. Little bit of space in mind, although Gibbard wins it with a superb sliding tackle, and now we look to spring the attack. Ball played forward, King. Great pass on the outside of his foot. Billy Clark bringing it forward and somehow squeezing it in. I feel like with a goal from that kind of position, it's one of two things. It's either the player's had a moment of magic and absolutely smashed the finish, or the keeper's been questionable. I think that might be on Collins. Like, you know what? We're a goal ahead. We've looked good in the opening of this season so far, and I'm going to hope we continue to look good. But now whips it in. Billy Clark's under it. He already has one goal. It falls to Foxwell. We've got them pinned back right now. You can see Watson stepping up to support the midfielders, that advanced centre-back. I feel like whenever it happens, I'm going to point it out. I mean, this is pretty. This is nice. If Bernal keeps that down, it's one of the best goals you've ever seen. Bernal on the near side here. We are exerting some really good early pressure. Can we keep it going here? The right back skips inside. Bassett fizzes it. Gibbard, first goal for the club for the centre mid. I have no idea if the decision to make the defensive mids play at centre mid even makes a difference in this kind of situation, really. I'm going to claim it does, and therefore I am a tactical genius. It's a good little goal. Having got those two goals and got our noses ahead, we've been a little bit quiet in the second half of this first half, but to be fair, they've not even had a shot on target, so how can I even complain about anything? We're doing great, keep it going, more of the same please. I guess my concern this year is, for as good as we can be in all these games, if Maldon and Tiptree really are as good as I think they might be, and let's be honest, they've got players on thousands of pounds a week, it's all very good winning these kind of games. The games against Maldon and Tiptree might end up being the ones that really define our season. Just over an hour played here. No subs made for us yet. Maybe should look to make some, especially because they have made some subs of their own. And well, now they're on the attack. Locke gives it back to Howard. Jenkins in the middle for them. Maybe just a little bit of spell of possession, although we've got 10 men behind the ball, nice and deep. None of them, though, are in the right space to stop that. It is now 2-1. Clark and King have been a bit quiet in this one because I'm just biased. I've got to keep King on the pitch. I've got to give him as many minutes as possible. I'm going to bring in Shea Hutchinson through the middle. Packham I'm going to bring in at left wing back as well. Jane at centre mid hasn't had the best of games either. You know what? You and Danaher had a great debut. Let's bring him in. We've now got a centre mid partnership in Gibbard and Danaher that was made in Crystal Palace. Let's hope that they can actually show that kind of calibre in this game here. We need to try and see out this game. And, well, suddenly in a game that we were dominating and kind of cruising in, they've got one goal back and I'm on edge because it's a one-goal game. And maybe the wind is in their sails. Maloney, the left-back, steps forward and gives it to Thomas. They look to cut inside. It's dinked in. Dangerous area. Bartlett Antwi already has one goal. Gives it back to Thomas, who shoots. The save is amazing. He's made an insane double stop there, Camis in goal. Admittedly, the first save, he didn't really parry away from danger, but he still had to get to the second. And while speaking of the devil, he's got the ball in his hands here. And at this point, I would really like to see us get another goal just to give us that extra bit of breathing room. Taylor gives it to Gibbard, out from the back. Watson steps up, launches it towards King, who gets there. Mason misses an interception. Can King make something happen? The number 9 plays it inside. Shea Hutchinson scores, and the tactical changes we've made have worked. Michael King is just a beautiful man, isn't he? Look at him. This little dancey move skips past his man like he's not even there. Fizzes it in low and hard. Obviously, we've not really got physical presence in the way of attackers, tall players who are going to win the ball, so we aim for those low crosses just like that. 3-1 to the good. Less than, what, 5 minutes left of this game? But let's be honest, it's far from done just yet. If they get 1 goal back, I will, well, resume squeaky bum time. We've won the ball back here. We probably have had the better of the play and deserve to be 2 goals to the good. But it'd be nice now to show a little bit of ruthlessness. King cutting inside. Did he try that Trivella there? Did you see that on the outside of his foot? 4 minutes of added time here is going to come and go. Bit of a shame that King couldn't get himself on the score sheet for a second time. But make no mistake, that was a great little result. Admittedly, when you look at the stats, not maybe as convincing as the last game. Michael King impresses for Lewis. Give the man some praise. You know how much I went on about Maldon and Tiptree? They actually drew their first game of the year. Right now, we are top on merit. And in fact, with 2 games played, only 2 teams have won both matches. This is a very, very tight competitive league, isn't it? At least it is if you just pretend that we're not here. We're bloody massive. We've got newly promoted Concord Rangers to welcome to the dripping pan up next. They're in 22nd. They're having a miserable time. Let's try and make them sadder. So far, so good to start the season. I do think for this game here, it's probably a good chance to just rotate things a little bit. So I'm going to bring in Anderson, the loanee, up front for King. I know Shea Hutchinson is only learning to play on the right-hand side, but I think we'll give him some minutes there. Bennett, by the way, with his groin injury, is still slow coming back to fitness. I'm going to be a bit aggressive, I think, across the board here. I'm going to bring in Danaher and Packham. Packham, I'm training to play left wing-back, so giving him game time will just help with that. And at the back, you know what? Umanike and Devine, I'm going to give minutes to. These are 2 players that we brought in midway through last year to be players that were just versatile at the back. And I feel like now is as good a time as any to use them. This is a game that we should be winning, even with a heavily rotated team. And if we don't win it, well, let's be honest, I am about to look like a moron. Which does mean there's probably some of you horrible, horrible people wishing a defeat upon me here today. Look, we have played well to start the year. It's not wholesale changes, but there are some significant bits of rotation here. I feel like this rammed start to the season is always a bit of a challenge at the lower levels, especially with players that don't train full time. Their fitness can be a bit of a problem. Okay, into this game we march. I'll tell you what would be good, a kick-off highlight. Billy Clark, make something magical happen. He's skipping forward. Anderson, the striker, is in the box on his debut. Clark! I'll tell you what, he really did nearly make magic happen. Concord Rangers with a goal kick. We've got them on the back foot early doors. Obviously, they've lost their first 2 games. They're newly promoted. We want to, well, just be a mean bully to them, really. This is the kind of team that I think even our B team should be capable of beating, given the quality that we've got. Obviously, if they score first in this game, I'm going to look like a Wally. Day skips through, deflected shot. I wasn't panicking. Honest. Okay, Billy Clark, what can you do? The left winger, whipping the ball in here. Gibbard jumps for it, headed away. Only as far as Watson, who's going to look to keep it alive. Clark to Devine. Danaher. Okay, that was a bit ambitious. Camis with the ball. You know what's happening here. We like to play the ball out from the back. Devine steps forward with the ball. A lot of space for him to actually attack into there. Bernal able to peel off his man. And now we are in behind Hutchinson. Visiting Anderson. Has somehow missed that. I want to say it's Luton Town we've loaned him in from. If we're finishing like that, he's definitely never playing for their first team, is he? I mean, 10 minutes left of this first half. Have I over-rotated the team? I'm really going to hope not. There's 5 minutes left here. Nothing is happening. I mean, when you look at the stats, we've been good in this game. It's not like we've really run away with it, though, and we're some kind of dominant force that they've not been able to reckon with. It's 0-0 at the break. Not good enough. I think I'm going to ask our defensive line to step up a little bit more and actually turn to more pressing in this second half. They've had a little bit more of the ball than I would like them to have. I'm going to get rid of pass into space. I want us to just be a bit more sensible holding on to the ball ourselves too. Not going to make any personnel changes just yet, but I will make some if I think it's necessary. I'll tell you what. They've got a throw-in in our half. I'm scared. Concord Rangers, I'm sorry that I underestimated you. Right now, they are making me feel uncomfortable. Nash, Jones, turning in the box, gives it to Olugbody, one of the greatest names in football. Ramsey. I'll tell you what, there's been a few speculative shots in this game. That wasn't far over. If in doubt, throw on Michael King. Anderson has not been good enough in this game. Clark out on the left-hand side has been disappointing too. We're going to bring in Bassett over there. But now look, right wing-back is actually struggling a little bit for fitness already. So I think what we'll do is we'll bring in Foxwell, play him on the left, and then Packham will switch wings. One thing I really did try to do this summer, and when we've just been building the squad in general, is have backup players who can play a load of positions. Because when you're limited to 5 subs, it's so valuable. And just for shuffling around the team like we are here, I mean, you're kind of seeing the use of Packham already. I think we've got 24 minutes left of this game. I'm going to go to more attacking. We've not really had enough of the ball in this game. Even with the changes we made at halftime, it's not really changed the balance of this game at all. We're having chances. We've had shots. We need a breakthrough, though. With 15 minutes left, pressure is on us. Foxwell bringing it forward, the left back, on off the bench, running into trouble, and now it's cleared in behind. Well, the space that the left wing-back would vacate. Jones, loads of space for him coming forward, but no one really in support. So many players for us behind the ball. Jones shoots! And had that gone in, it would have been one of the best goals I've ever seen. Lads, we need a goal. Lads, we need a goal. Someone do something! Out of possession. You know what? Foxwell and Packham go further forward. Players pressing wing-backs now. Everyone at the back just press. And you know what? Bassett and Hutchinson... Just go and play as centre forwards, lads. Let's get it forward to them. Prevent goalie short distribution. And let's get more direct whilst bypassing the press. 5 minutes and a dream. It was going far too well today, wasn't it? I was having far too much fun. There's 3 minutes. Nothing is happening. I'm going to very attacking. It's too little. It's too late. It's the first 0-0 of the season. I wouldn't be surprised if it's the first of a few. Hopefully not the first of many. I've shouted at everyone and Benala's lacking self-belief. That's a good sign, isn't it? I mean, the good news is we are still top of the league. So, yeah, take that. Dartford lost. They were the only other team that had won both their opening games. Oh, and if you were wondering, my inbox is still really messed up with all the players that I have shortlisted from last episode. In terms of the wages, by the way, there is a little bit of wage budget there, but I feel like the squad is pretty much complete now. I don't think you're going to see us making any big signings. Which, you know what, in spite of that most recent result, I think when we look at the first 3 games of the year, we've done okay so far. I feel like we are going to be up there in contention based on what we've seen in the opening 3 games. Like I've already mentioned, the fixture schedule at this level is absolutely relentless. I feel like next time out we're going to do the Maldon and Tiptree and Bognor Regis games. Double away day, potentially. That could be very fun. If you have enjoyed today's bonus weekend upload, go show it some love down below. We are back on Monday with your normal regular scheduled dose of Park to Prem action. I'll see you guys on that one. Take things easy. It's me, Jack, and I'll talk to you guys in a bit.